Cassidy is back with us this morning to give us updates out of Washington and the impact on Louisiana. Let's jump right into it, Senator, because you have visited the border. You went to Laredo, Texas. So just tell us, what did you see?
Well, Laredo was not as bad as elsewhere, but everybody you talk to, they're concerned about the border. And a fellow shows me his ranch, pictures from his ranch where he has knives and ammunition, not like a bullet, but like clips of high-powered weapon, high-powered ammunition attached to it. Showed me a picture of a truck that had driven through his fence to allow people to come across. So the issue there is all over the place. All the more reason Congress should have acted.
So what is it that you all are going to do? Because as you know, President Biden, of course, blaming Republicans, and you all are holding up, fixing the issue. So what are you all going to do?
Well, first let's just say, President Biden, it lays at your feet. Both the Obama and the Trump administration had a much better record than the Biden administration. Much better record. And in December alone, 300,000 people passed the border illegally. Now, unfortunately, James Lankford, a really good Republican conservative from Oklahoma who had negotiated a deal, unfortunately that deal just sunk. Now, the Border Patrol police said it was better than what they have now. It could have helped. But the politics of it went south. I think it could have been a little bit better, but really the politics went south and the whole thing went away. Unfortunately, we're not going to be passing legislation to fix the border, even though we've got to fix the border.
Now, as you may have known, of course, Louisiana's got an official request to actually send our National Guard troops to that. And Texas actually asked us to help pay for that. Do you support that?
Well, I'd rather not. I'd rather spend that money, for example, fighting crime in New Orleans. Believe me, I'm all about the governor fighting crime in New Orleans and Baton Rouge and Shreveport, you name it. But Texas has got so much money. They're spending $400 million to fix up the Alamo. They just got all kinds of money. So I'd rather take our dollars and spend them here. And by the way, I'm all for the governor fighting crime. I'm glad they're having this session. Let's spend that money fighting crime.
And speaking of crime, is there anything federally that can be done? Because as you know, he's proposed 24 different proposals to try to, change and reform the criminal justice system. Anything federally can be done to provide assistance?
Yes, there is. As it turns out, we've researched this. Most of crime is going to be a state or local issue. But FBI, ATF, they call them the three-letter agencies, DEA, are all here helping us. Turns out they get paid more in Houston than they do in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, even though it can cost more to live here because of insurance costs. We're trying to fix it. We don't want an incentive for experienced, good officers to leave and go someplace else. We want the incentive for them to come here.
Now, the last time you were here, you were talking about you were going to hold a bipartisan meeting to address flooding. So what came out of that meeting and what's next?
Yes, so there was a hearing upon the bill that I've been working on. It was a really good hearing. People from New Orleans and South Louisiana were up there. Some testified. The person from New Orleans testified. And that is the next step. Hopefully now we'll actually mark up the legislation. I'm speaking to the chairman of the committee and the ranking member, the Democrat and the Republican who lead the committee, trying to get them to agree that we will pass it. Now it's just one more step, one more step, one more step. We're going to keep on pushing it until we have that flood insurance more affordable, the program more sustainable and more accountable.
And one last thing, you'd have criticized President Biden for postponing the LNG export permitting. Explain that, and why are you criticizing him for doing that?
This is another terrible policy by President Biden. Right now, Louisiana, Texas, other states are producing natural gas, more than we can use in the United States, and we're shipping it around the world. We're creating jobs, drilling those holes, building those pipelines, but also building those LNG export facilities. I'm told the largest construction site in the world is in Plaquemines Parish, building one of these sites, and they have another one planned. Think about the jobs. But by the way, think about the gas that goes around the world to help Germany not have to buy gas from Russia or not burn their own coal. If they burn their coal, emissions go up. If they burn our clean natural gas, emissions are down. So President Biden wants to put a pause on this permitting. It makes it harder to do one of these projects. You don't get the jobs at the wellhead, at the pipeline, at the construction site. You don't get the money, the royalty payments to the people that own the land. You don't have the gas going to Germany. Now they're either going to buy gas from Russia, our enemy, or they're going to burn their coal, which increases emissions. It is bad policy all the way around. I think he's doing it because he's looking like he's going to lose the next election, and he hopes to get his far-left environmentalist on his side.
So you all are currently on recess. When do you all return back to Washington?
Next week, early next week.